Sneakerheads, sneaker addicts. I'm taking you back to 1983 with the patent leather Adidas Concords. We're going old school today, baby. The Adidas Concord was released in France in 1983. The shoe's production was discontinued after 3 years. The aforementioned was surprising since it was one of the Adidas' most popular brands on the basketball courts. The shoe was available as a high top and also as a mid-cut version. Now, I remember when they brought these Concords out, these jokers, I'm telling you, they flew off the shelves. We was going to all the sneaker stores, the gym shoe stores in Detroit, buying these jokers. But like I just read in the archives, after 3 years, Adidas discontinued it. That's crazy because this shoe was the bomb. All right, let's go ahead and analyze the Adidas Concord. One of the things I always want to point out is the toe box. If you look at this toe box right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is reminiscent of all the old school Adidas toe boxes, the top 10s, the forms, so on and so forth, right? Adidas, I'm telling you, they had this style. It was consistent with everything. Look at the strap here, little ankle strap on the top. But before I even get started with that, look at the gold Adidas embedded on that strap. You unloosen the strap, and this is one of the things we used to do. We used to let it hang out, right? Let the strap hang out. Look at this tongue right here, all the way from the top of the tongue down to the throat. But pay attention to this. The gold Adidas logo, synonymous. Forms had them. Top 10s had them. All your old school retro 80s Adidas had this similar tongue. Let's move towards the back. This heel area right here protects the Achilles tendon. Look at Adidas in gold right on the back. Look at the. Now let's take a look at the uppers. Now this upper is padded all the way around to the Achilles tendon side, to the inside of your ankle, to the outside of your ankle. I mean, that's retro padding. It's not nothing that we will have right now. This material is not modernized, but even right in here is padded. It's almost like pillow-like. Again, protecting it from potential ankle injuries, potential foot injuries. As we go ahead, look outside of the shoe. This all patent leather, old school traditional Adidas stripes with the rigid edges and the holes in between. Flip it over to the inside, same thing. Now, one thing we used to always do back in the day, for some odd reason, we used to highlight this Adidas mark right here that's embedded on the sole. Old school sole, bottom of the Adidas sole, classic Adidas, man. This shoe, I've said it before, I said it again. Adidas in that mid 80s, early 80s, even some late 80s, this was the brand of choice, the shoe of choice for a lot of us Detroiters. I know the New York guys, Chicago guys was wearing this as well. But the old school sneakerheads, you definitely can identify with the Adidas Concord. Again, they had them in the high top, in the mids, and different colors, different trims, right? But I will tell you, the Adidas Concord, class personified, beautiful shoe executed by Adidas, constructed in France. Man, so many memories, which is a nice segue into nostalgic memories. Now, when I think of the Adidas Concords, you know, a lot of my stories, I talk about the drug dealers from the 1980s, but you know, that's the guys that was around. Even the basketball players, the athletes, they were wearing Concords. Not the most comfortable shoe to wear playing basketball, but it's one of the illest shoes as it relates to style and fashion. Because I remember guys used to wear these with sweats. They used to wear them with Levi's jeans, walking around the corner, walking around the block, playing basketball in them, doing all the things that they were doing. Some good, some bad. But that's some of my nostalgic memories. And I had the fortune of buying this pair when I was stationed in Okinawa, Japan, as you can see right here. I was looking at the sites, man. I was hoarding, stalking these sites, trying to find when these shoes were going to be re-released. And once they re-released them, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. I had to get these Adidas Concords, and I got them. I've had these shoes since 2016. I probably wore them maybe 5 times. But I tell you, man, when I see shoes looking like this, the Adidas Concords and some of those 1980s Adidas, it reminds me of growing up in Detroit. right? Just being in that environment, listen to the old school rap songs and break dancers and b-boys and all those things. But I would tell you the Adidas Concord symbolizes early 80s Detroit, symbolizes early 80s hip hop, because a lot of the hip hop guys, a lot of the rappers were wearing these as well. Now, speaking of wear, we'll talk about style. Style and comfort. Again, not the most comfortable shoe to wear playing basketball. Back then they did. But right now, I would not play basketball in these. These are strictly rocking on the regular. But again, for me, this is more so than rocking. This is a nostalgic shoe. This is a beautifully designed shoe. Designed in 1983. Can you believe that? 1983, and this shoe looks better than some of the shoes that's coming out now. Again, these materials are not modernized, but the Adidas Concord, baby, this is where it's at. Telling you. Now, I'm being biased right here, but if I had to rate this shoe overall out of a 10, this shoe gets a 10 out of 10. No question about it. The Adidas Concord, 10 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen, for nostalgic purposes, for rocking on a regular, basketball, and all that. Class personified, baby. Patent leather. The Nomad Cast, because every shoe has a story. Concords, baby. Shoot, I may have to rock these later on today.